Let's train with the strong serve, effective forehand in the Tour 7 of Tennis Clash, a sports game published by Wildlife Studios. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Gameplay 365 and to turn on the bell if you like this video. So, all the matches of this video were played before the update of 13th of January 2021, so the stats that you are seeing before the matches in this video were different from what you are seeing right now if you're watching in February 2021 and after. So stats were different, but the gameplay was the same. Alright, so we start the matches versus Krug. The top player using a different hitting pattern from a lot of top players. He likes to hit, as you know, shorter shots with a lot of change in intensity of the shots. In this match he was using the Gallon Fiber, which is a special string having the ability of a forehand counter, which is good to return the effective forehand of my Victoria. My serves were a lot of times not good at all in this match. So, the Gallon Fiber having the forehand counter, obviously my opponent is going to return and to hit a lot of times on my Victoria's forehand, so that my return gives him the precision, a better accuracy to return all my forehand shots. Sometimes trying to hit too hard, he hit the net.
Second serve.
Yes, insisting on the forehand side. And when the shots are critical, that's even more difficult to return, of course. So as you can see, the Gallon Fiber doesn't have long catch, so even when my shots are not very strong, they just need to be accurate enough to outflank Kaito in a lot of rallies. And on the match point, you're going to see something very rare from Krug, hitting a ball way above the baseline. Generally, he puts them all in the court very easily. I was a bit surprised he decided to play that last ball very long. Let's play the second match versus DJD, who has now the name of Ace Joker. So he was using the cabo load, and I was using my usual build with the hammer, the forge, mountain climber, ballistic. In the first match I was using the bullseye instead of the hammer, so I had a weaker backhand. In this one my backhand is more decent, but my forehand has two fewer power point. So my opponent was using here again the Gallon Fiber, so it has the advantages that I have already talked about, but it also doesn't have what a lot of other special strings with forehand counter have, the long catch. So especially in high tours, the Gallon Fiber is not so dangerous, not as dangerous as the anniversary string or Harbour Court, for instance. Of course, it's better than having no forehand counter at all, but well, I would say that in a lot of rallies, if you hit accurately enough, especially when Kaito doesn't have full stamina, which happens by the end of a rally, for instance, or when he isn't anticipating on a shot, especially after a slow serve, where you can relatively easily outflank this Kaito with a Effective forehand shot. Not so strong. Just need to be accurate enough. A bit like that. It is not super strong, so the blue bar is not full. It's only at between 90 and 95% of the blue bar, but well, when it's hit towards the corner, well, Kaito doesn't have a lot of chance to catch it. Let's use the same build versus the Victoria of Tom Ford. So Tom Ford is a specialist of volley, but now and then I see this player use the low serve aggressive baseliner style. So the game had a problem. It crashed very shortly after we joined the match, and I couldn't receive the serve of Tom Ford for the first point. I quickly closed the Tennis Clash app and open it again to play the following points. So my opponent was using the Siran wire, and for me that is something that I would not do when I play with low serve aggressive baseliner Victoria, because the stamina of Vic is not enough to afford the string, the best of the regular strings. It has a forehand counter, it has long catch. This is very good to play versus high serve effective forehand players, but because it activates long catch while having no stamina shield at all, well, it drains stamina of the player unbelievably. And that's what happened by the end of this match. And that's why, with a fast serve, I couldn't come back. Because, well, my opponent couldn't run by the end of the match. Very simply. Losing accuracy because of the lower stamina too. Activating long catch makes it even worse. Yep. Even Kaito has a lot of problems with this Siran wire, so imagine that on Victoria. Let's play versus Kaito of Knut. So Knut has reached 3,800 trophies with not a lot of stats. His Kaito doesn't have high stats. That's the least we can say. Well, I hit relatively accurately in the beginning of the match, and his Kaito couldn't be on the balls quickly enough. And then it's going to be more accurate in the match. At the beginning, he was committing a lot of unforced errors. And by the second part, well, some counter-punching shots were very effective. Lucky ace to end the match. I think that very simply, this Kaito can mostly play very well versus other Kaito, because versus high serve, effective forehand is not so easy with lower stats. It's just a matter of stats for Knut. Let's play versus Kaito of Hong Kong, who has better stats than Knut for his Kaito. So I started with an unforced error. And Hong Kong was hitting some nice cross-court shot there.
Out. 1, 2.
The windshield wiper mode, of course, is still the most efficient in the lot of rallies. A lucky ball who licked the line there. Nice front footing work. Very nice cross-court shot. So, Kaito playing with Master Monty is obviously the best combo for Victoria to play versus. Master Monty has no long catch, only has stamina shield tier 2, doesn't have critical, anything that could disturb the gameplay of a high serve, effective forehand player. Let's play versus Krug again. But this time he's not using the Gallon Fiber, but the Master Monty. So the quick catch ability of the Master Monty doesn't help much for Kaito versus fast serves of Victoria. Unless, well, he positions his Kaito well enough to be on the trajectory of the serve, very close to it, to where the ball hits. Yep, I didn't hit this last ball enough in the corner and was immediately punished.
3, 2, fault.
Serves were not good at all.
Second serve.
So, as you can see, I tried to root my opponent on the ground with some shots on his backhand, for instance, and then try and deliver a big forehand towards the other side, the other corner on his forehand side.
Second serve.
It is one of the possible tactics.
4, 5.
Yep, he insisted really on my forehand side there, and well, I was just staying there because first I didn't have enough stamina anyway to run to the other side, and secondly I hoped him to try and front foot me by hitting on my forehand side all the time, and so I didn't move. And for the last point, well, took a bit of risk because my stamina was declining and I was leading by 1 point, so I couldn't take a bit of risk anyway. Okay, let's play this match versus Horn-kun again. This time I'm playing with the bullseye racket instead of the hammer. So my forehand is a bit more powerful, but my backhand's significantly weaker. So first point was an unforced error. With this second point, a big shot on the baseline was enough to provoke an unforced error. But then I hit a bit too long.
Fault. Second serve.
A surprising double fault. Return on a slow serve is enough. Same thing here. Typical attack. A big follow-up after a strong serve. Same thing here again. Keeping the initiative after a fast serve and hitting a down the line shot. This one is a cross-court one. Master Monty having no long catch at all. This is relatively easy for Victoria to outflank Kaito. Let's play now versus the Kaito of Anson, who was using anti-offsidance. So, he had a relatively weaker forehand, but a lot of stamina. And well, stamina is not something that he will need a lot because he was using the Gallon Fiber anyway, which has a stamina shield tier 2.
Second serve.
But of course, having more stamina is always better than
Love. 2.
using the cabo load and lacking stamina by the end of the match.
1. 2. Fault.
Yep, same bad serve.
Second serve. 1. 3.
So Anson likes to anticipate very often. So I tried to front foot him there. Anson is the kind of player who try and position the Kaito,
4.
anticipate a lot. Not all do that. I see a lot of Kaitos who,
4.
well, let their character move automatically and
4.
they don't try to anticipate much. Nice cross shot.
5.
And on the slow serve of Kaito, always big opportunities
Match point.
for Victoria to outflank him
Second serve.
with just an effective forehand, not so big. And by the end of the match,
Deuce.
with a lower stamina bar, that's easier for Kaito to outflank my Victoria. So I had to use some soft cross-court shot to outflank him. Yes, I knew he wouldn't anticipate there for the return, so I hit the completely other side. Was lucky enough to wrong foot him often in this match. Let's play versus the low serve aggressive baseliner Victoria of Kobe, who's playing very well with Victoria, besides being a very good volley player.
Love. 1.
And well, he has this
Love.
soft diagonal serve, which is quite annoying for high serve
Second serve.
effective forehand players. So at the beginning of the match,
3.
I was still trying to hit
1.
hard towards the open zone, which was left on purpose by Kobe,
1. 4.
waiting for me to hit there so that he could hit a counter punch shot. But then I will
4.
change the way of returning.
3. 4. 3. 5.
Too bad
5.
internet connection problems for him. Fortunately, just for 1 point.
5.
So of course, a low serve aggressive baseliner Victoria will have a lot of problems versus a fast serve Victoria, having just one effective forehand, not so good backhand, because well, the low serve Victoria will lose initiative in a lot of rallies. Let's play now versus the very powerful Kaito of Shin. He was having very high stats. It was before the update.
1. Love.
So looking at the match after the 13th of January, meaning after the update, the stats revamp patch, you will think that those hands were not very powerful, but well, before the stats revamp, they were very good stats. Not the highest possible for Kaito, of course, but they were pretty high. Way enough to counter Victoria, especially if Kaito uses special string having forehand counter. So here, once again, I'm going to insist on that. Gallant Fiber doesn't have long catch, so it's not the most dangerous special string for strong serve, effective forehand players, but still has a forehand counter ability and is good. Well, I don't know what happened there. Can't see the ball. Can't see what he did to make this error. Classic cross-court big return with the forehand to outflank Kaito. And my opponent was trying to force a bit too much for the end. The ball went too long. Let's play versus a very powerful Kaito using cabo load. Look at the two hand stats. And he was using the Gallant Fiber. But the problem is that this Kaito, and you're going to see throughout the match, is not so accurate. Of course, on some points he still was, but he was not on very good form in this match. As you can see, some balls were really going very far from even the LA. So what is surprising is that in some points he was much more accurate. Yep, I had some problems with accuracy too. Very poor serve. And immediately my Victoria was put in a difficult position. Yes, I was staying there waiting for him to hit there, exactly. Because of the hitting pattern. Too bad this cross court was too long. Oh, this one is easier. I simply put it calmly into the court. This one was very wide. Lucky for this one. On the line. For this one too. It's funny to see after summon force errors, some reasonable ones, I can hit some accurate shots. That's funny. Always funny to watch those shots back. Alright, let's end the matches versus the Kaito of RK7777. He's playing with a cabo load. And I start the match with an usual unforced error. Yep. I kept attacking on windshield wiper mode there. Again, same attack pattern. This time I don't hit on his backhand. Victoria loves those situations when she's taken to the side. And when she needs to just rotate her beautiful left hand to hit a very effective forehand shot like this to end the match. Well, I'm going to show you the build, the cards that I was using in most matches. The Hammer and the Forge Ballistic Mountain Climber, and then the second build with the Bullseye. Well, I hope you enjoy watching me train with the strong serve, effective forehand style with victory in the Tour 7 of Tennis Clash, a sports game published by Wider Life Studios. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Gameplay T65 and to turn on the bell to stay tuned for new videos of Tennis Clash. Thank you a lot for your support, and see you soon on Gameplay T65. Bye-bye.